Put in the words, just the disappointment right now.
I mean, losing sucks, man. There's no way around it. But instead of feeling sorry for myself, I'm going to give them credit because right now the Mets are playing really good baseball. They're hot. You know, from watching them play in the beginning of the year in April and May, and you know, watching Jose Iglesias be able to, I don't know, unify them and get the city to buy into something bigger is nothing short of incredible. And you know, just give them their credit. They beat us. Is there a lot of things that we could have done better? Yes. Is there things that we could have done different? Yes. Do I think that they are a better team than us? No. But this series, they were.
I know it's fresh, but what, if anything, do you hope that you guys can take away from this experience and the way this one kind of ended for you, given the way everything was rolling for such a long time this season?
Well, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we started fantastic. You know, we were the best team in baseball in the first half, and everybody in baseball and all the fans and everybody are saying, this is our year, this is our year, this is our year. I don't know if expectations put added pressure. I don't know. I can speculate. But one thing I know is that we didn't cross the finish line.
What was the difference in this series?
Them scoring more runs than us.
A little more specific as to how that happened or why that happened?
They got on base more than us. They hit more balls that found holes than we did. You know, we swing the bat a lot better than the scoreboard showed, that's for sure. But if somebody's standing there or somebody makes a good play, you still walk back to the dugout.
Bryce, I don't know what the goal was coming into the year. Just how do you put into words the way it ended tonight?
Yeah, didn't finish the job. That's a really good team over there. They played well this series. They pitched well, hit the crap out of the baseball, time of hitting, everything you want to do as a playoff team. So thought the Mets had a great series.
World Series 2 years ago, Game 7 LCS last year, now this. What does this team have to do to get over the hump, and do you think these are the guys that do it next year?
It's got to be better. Got to finish the job. I mean, obviously, we got a great group of guys in here. Got a really good core. Just wasn't able to get the job done.
From the inside, how do you guys have improved in your win total each of those 3 years, but the postseason exits have been earlier. How do you process that from the inside? I know it's fresh.
I mean, every loss is kind of the same, man. Anytime you lose and don't finish the job of a World Series, it's the same. If it's the next round or the World Series round, it all feels pretty similar.
Surprising how the bats just couldn't come through again. You know, in the postseason, kind of struggled down the stretch as well, finding that consistency.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could have done more, obviously, on a personal level. Wish I could have had that last at bat, obviously, in that situation would have been a lot of fun, but just wasn't able to get it.
Do you think you guys have, like, the group as it is good enough to win, or do you think you need to make some big changes?
I mean, obviously we're going to have some guys that are out of this clubhouse, so that's a job for Dave and John to figure out what they want to do.
When he made contact, you kind of crouched down and turned and looked. What did you think it was gone? What did you think?
I knew it right away. I knew it right away. I knew I wanted to go a little bit more. I mean, a little bit higher on the pitch. Unfortunately, it was more like middle away instead of up and away. And as soon as he hit it, I knew he hit it really well, and that was the thought.
How much is the hurdle they traded for you to come over here and try to help them get to a World Series? I know you got to know these guys really well. Like, how much does it hurt to not be able to deliver in that moment?
I mean, a lot, man, a lot. I know I came over for that type of situations like that, and it hurts. It's tough to lose a game like that. But like I said, at the same time, I know these are a really good group. This is not the last time they're gonna be on playoffs, and it is what it is, man. It's baseball.
You think you could be part of this again next year? Would you like to be part of it next year?
I mean, hopefully it'll be great, but let's see. You know how it is.
Definitely wasn't my best self, and that doesn't feel good, but it is what it is. It's a hard game, and you're not always going to be getting hits and doing all those things, and there's other ways to help the team win, and we just didn't happen.
Do you
feel
think
like
things
you're-
changed with the injury? Is that
I mean,
turning point for you, do you think?
I'm not going to make excuses. I don't feel like it did, but obviously I wasn't the same guy when I came back. But it's just, I mean, is it the hand? I don't know. I don't feel like it is, but I definitely didn't get back to where I was before that, swinging the bat. But, I mean, there's no excuse for me, really. I don't think that it is really the reason why. I don't think. I mean, I don't know what the reason why. I wish I knew. Otherwise, I wouldn't have struggled the way I did. But it is what it is.
Do you feel like you're at a bit of a crossroads after playing Game 2 and just had kind of a difficult postseason here?
No. I know where I'll be next year.
Alec, after a couple close calls in the World Series, Game 7 last year, and now this, just how do you regroup and where do you stand with the core of this team that they're capable of?
Yeah, I mean, winning a championship is the hardest thing to do in sports, and we're trying to do it in what we all think is the hardest sport to play. So obviously it's never going to be easy. We're not entitled to anything, and the ball didn't bounce our way this time, but I think we got a little extra time over the offseason now to clear our heads and come back ready to fight for it again.
You guys have improved in the regular season each of the last 3 years, and it's been earlier postseason exits. I wonder how inside the room you kind of process that.
I tell you, it fucking hurts. It's not a good feeling. I mean, I feel like that the group that we had, it just keeps getting better and better, and I feel like first off you have to give credit where credit's due. They played phenomenal. Felt like they pitched the ball great. They got timely hitting, and they're the ones who are moving on. There's no ifing or buts about it. They beat us, so credit to them. But I don't think that it doesn't take it away. The feeling that is in the room, that it definitely hurts.
Last year, when it ended, you guys had a lot of disbelief. Do you have that same emotion now, or is it a little bit different emotion this time?
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird feeling, right? That it just felt like an interesting series about it, where like I said, you give credit to them because they did a great job, but also too, it was just like felt like it was just hard to get something going. That was kind of the battle where it was trying to get that inning going. We got it in Game 2, and it just felt like we couldn't really get that big inning going. And it was just I think that's just the unsettling thing where there's always going to be what ifs, right? And everything's going to play through everyone's head, and that's natural. And what could you have done better? What could you have done? But you can't change an outcome. But yeah, it's definitely it just felt like there was something just avoiding us there.
When it comes to, you mentioned not being able to get going, the offensive sputtering kind of, if you try to chalk it up, I know it's hard to just attribute it to a few things, but when you try to make sense of it, where does your brain kind of go to immediately?
I mean, there's, I don't know. I mean, I felt like if you can go to yesterday's game, you can go to today's game, you can go to, there were some hard-hit baseballs that were just outs, that it is what it is. You could do it, like I said, you could do everything right and get out. And then you could do everything not the best and you could get a hit. And it could start something, it's just like, it was just kind of one of those things where, and don't get me wrong, like, today for me, like personally, where, first 2 at-bats of the game, Q does, did a great job on me the first at bat where he got me to chase outside the zone, and second at bat, makes a really good pitch on a 3-2 count and got me to go. So, I felt like I could have been better there. Where, for me personally, that was an opportunity there in the second at bat for me to get on base, and I didn't. So, yeah, I mean, there's no, I don't think there's any way to point the finger to it, right? Like, it's just, I mean, it's a loss at the end of the day, but it's not because of a lack of preparation. It's not because of a lack of effort. All that was there. It just didn't happen.
You guys are playing your best ball going into the postseason, and do you think that did affect you maybe here in this series?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like we got some really good pitching performances. It just felt like that. Like I said, the beginning of kind of avoided us, and yeah, that's kind of the thing to it where. It felt like that they were able to kind of put a lot of pressure on us, guys on base, things like that, and that we just couldn't find a way, if it was via the hit, if it was via anything, to try to find a way to get on base. That just felt like I said it was avoiding us, and that's not really natural for us, where, we feel like that's a big strength of ours, and yeah, that's kind of the thing that's gonna sit bad in the stomach.
Didn't get a chance to go back to the bank, but what would your message be for the fan base, for what they provided this season?
I mean, it was one of the most fun years I've had. That throughout the course of a regular season, and especially when you go into the postseason, right? That you're looking forward to keeping this thing going for as long as we possibly can, and I know that they're probably they don't feel good about it, but this group doesn't. It's not everyone's stomachs are turning, right? So, but we really do appreciate everything that the fans do for us, because without them, we feed off their energy, and they brought it every single day. Whenever a Tuesday, Wednesday day game, whatever it is, they brought it for us, and we really do appreciate that.